Welcome.
Welcome to Shade and the City. I'm your girl Treese,
It's Nels.
and today we are here to do our recap of the Braxtons, season 1, episode 6. It takes a village. So, yeah, new viewers and all of our Shade Squad, if you haven't already, please make sure that you hit that like button.
And that subscribe button.
And y'all, let's jump right into it. And let's get. Ain't a lot to get shady about, but it was a cute episode. I like the whole Miss E conversation.
There was some shady moments dealing with Carlos.
Well,
there was a little shade. There was a little shade.
Well, there was. So yeah, let's get into it and let's get shady. So we start off this episode, Tony and Miss E, they're sitting down for dinner. Obviously Tony is a little bit out of the loop. And so Miss E happens to be in LA visiting her friends. And so she fills her in on Tracy's party, and she also updates her on little Kevin and how he's dealing with a lot and plans to see Spirit before returning to Maryland. Miss E admits that she is concerned about him and thinks that, he's going to need extensive counseling. So Tony has a cold and, talks about how she needs to basically plan her rest before starting her show on Mother's Day. She wants to make sure, just listening to her body so that her lupus doesn't flare up. And then Miss E ask her about how things are going with Mr. Sid, the entertainer. Tony says that, he's great to work with. And then she decides to share with us that she's going to be on this review giving us some jokes. So not. Okay. And so she actually has the wait staff join, and she decides to tell him a joke, and I think it was something about what is a bear
with no teeth?
It's a gummy bear. And of course
she just can't. She just can't be funny.
Well, and it was so funny because they all kindly smile and nod, not to be rude.
Miss said, "Don't you ever tell the joke again? Just
right, don't do that. Just saying, girl, do what you do best. That's what I like." So she reveals that Trina went to help her find a dress, and she was like, "Oh, what did you Trina go get her?" She was like, "You don't remember that you said you was gonna set me up with somebody," and so. Yeah. And so, then Tony is like, "Well, how do you feel about like a retired basketball player?" And she's like, "Well, maybe he might got bad knees, and and they might have head trauma and stuff like that." I said, "I think you're thinking." When she said that, I said, "I think you're thinking of a football player." Right.
Then when she said a professor, I was like, "Oh, Miss E might like that." She said, "No, he might have Alzheimer's."
Because he had to think too much. And basically, she refuses to date anyone in their 30s or 40s. Tony suggests that maybe she talk to her girlfriends and get their advice. Huh?
Or 50s.
Well, no, she said, and then Tony asked if 50 is too young, and Miss E reminds her that she has kids that age. Hence Tony. And so Tony was like, "Well, is 80 too old?" And Miss E said, "Now that's the joke, because that's what she came."
She said, "What do
that?" I said that was a cute scene. I really like that.
Miss E is funny.
Miss E is funny, and y'all may disagree with me, and I ain't gonna hold y'all. When we get there, we'll talk about it. But
Miss E was giving very much Latrice energy to me.
Look, Miss E need to get her own show. That's all.
When she was on the date, I said, "If this ain't Treese,"
I would absolutely watch her and her older friends, Black women, to see what my future looked like. Okay. I would love to see and know the truth of what's really out there. I'm just saying, don't steal my idea, Carlos King.
I was going to say, you never know what they're cooking up, because we never saw her friends in all these years. We never.
Right. And now, and I'm telling you, this was a cute little.
And we know that this season is just just about Tracy, and I don't think they're gonna do anything anymore. So
Yeah.
really, she could be getting her own spinoff, and we know she's doing the cooking thing.
Look, y'all, we might be reaching, but I'm gonna be honest with you. After that scene with her and her friends, I absolutely said to myself, I would sit down and watch this every week and see Miss Ev and her friends and go out and date, and especially Marla. Oh hell,
Those are the real aunties.
okay. That I would watch that. I don't know. Y'all drop down in the comments. Y'all let me know. Maybe we reaching. We ain't that old yet, but again, I like to know what cometh. I hope to be blessed to be that age and be able to grow old with her and sit at dinner and be like, girl, is you getting some? Does it work? Does it still work over there? Go ahead. I'm sorry. I got long with it.
All right. So speaking of Carlos, Tamar is doing a live podcast with him. She said, well, he said it's about her past, present, and future. She said she became really good friends with him when Tracy said that she wouldn't tell her story, and Carlos held it, close to his heart. He kept it a secret. She said she's not telling all her damn business, but he says, he knows his limitations, so they really just gonna get a good keep. Then Tony and her stylist,
Ashley.
Ashley, what?
That's the name of the stylist.
Oh, I wasn't trying to say the stylist's name. I thought you said something.
Oh no.
Oh no, I mean, he's.
You didn't get the Ashley's name.
No. This is probably the only time I'm gonna see him. So no, I don't do that. So Tony and her stylist went to go try on her outfits for her residency. She brought up, her mom looking for a date, wanting some suggestions. I think she even asked the designer.
Oh yeah.
The designer I think suggested his brother.
Yeah.
No, he's a little too young. He's a little too.
Well, because he was in his 50s.
Mm-hmm. Now she did tell the designer about, her son Denim, that he's a model. Of course, he feels like, well, I'm in New York Fashion Week. I'm trying to get him on, right. And basically the designer and stylist is kind of realizing, girl, you've been here for all of like an hour and you can put us to work. Like, you gave us a laundry list of stuff to do. Okay. I'm working on your residency. I'm working on your clothes. I got to put your son in New York Fashion Week. I got to find your mama a date. Like,
right.
We'll get an assistant. That's really what it's giving.
Tamar sits down with Carlos King on the live podcast. Carlos asked what made her get back into reality TV, and she said she wanted to show basically or get into reality TV, I should say. And she basically said she wanted to show Black women on TV from all facets of life. He shares how he fell in love with Tamar from the show because she was absolutely hilarious. And I think we can all, us Pisces, we just, that's one thing I'm going to give you guys, most of us have it. No, most of us have it all, Even if you might be that other fish, most of the time you're still funny. That's one thing I can give us. So Carlos asked if her being the breakout star caused issues in her family. Tamar admits that it started, a little bit of tension or whatever. And he asked if she regrets doing the show. And I think from a family perspective, she was saying yes. However, she felt the culture needed it at the time and basically needed to see that their family goes through normal things just like any other. So he asked if he thinks that if her success affected her marriage. Tamar says that, she was 26 when they started dating and they grew up together and eventually grew apart. And I absolutely can see that, not to mention they just had a very, did anybody watch Tamar and Vince? Do we know? I watched Tamar and Vince. I knew that relationship was toxic. And then how we, I think I'm going to say this to not even talk about the negative part of it. I think it's beautiful after knowing how it ended, because we remember, I think it was discussed on Braxton's Family Values, because Mom, Miss E, I felt like addressed it and said that Vince allegedly had done something to Tamar. So I'm sad that it had to end like that, but I'm glad that they can still be cordial and be as good as they are to this day, based off the way that it ended. So then Carlos brings up how the Braxtons are coming back, and he asks how filming is going. Tamar says she's a friend to the show and she's not sure. She says she's being mentally responsible. She said she felt captive and it wasn't the best mental situation for her. She said she wants to leave since she's been wanting to leave since season 3. And she said the first whole Braxton thing almost cost her life, and she can't let that happen again. So she needs to remain healthy and happy for herself and her son. And then Carlos brings up, you know, she is a friend, or basically as a friend, she no longer needs to carry the show. And Tamar says that the misconception about her a lot of the times is that she wants all the attention, and that's not really the case. And I can agree with that. We like it. We don't always need it all the time. Not all.
All right. So Miss E, she got together with her sister girls, is what she called them. Marla, Angela, and Judge Maybelline.
Arla is 227. You don't remember her?
Yeah,
Mary? No, I'm sorry. That's Jack Day. My bad.
and it's funny because Tamar said something about 227. Remember, she was talking about the show she grew up on.
Right.
So she let them know that she's supposed to be going on a blind date, and they want to know what's the criteria. Miss E said that he got to be tall, got to have some sense, and have a bag, and she ain't talking about a colostomy bag.
Oh,
Nasty. Judge Maybelline.
but can you imagine? That's what I'm saying. That's so real for their age. Like, we probably think that is joking, but that's like so real for their age group, like in their age bracket. And you out here dating like men going, I mean, people, not even men, just in general, but people gonna come with their health issues, and you got to take them as they are.
Not if I just met you that way. It'd be different if it happened while we was together.
You
And, and I'm already in love with you. Till it, girl, I can't see past 2 big fingers, let alone I can't see past you chewing funny. No, I can't see past no colostomy bag. Okay.
Now that's the Virgo in her. Okay.
Yes, it is. So Judge Maybelline said, men, when they up in age, they tend to not be so interested in sexuality and sensuality, and asked her if that was going to be a problem. Miss E said if that desire hits her, he needs to be able to fulfill all her needs.
Look, I said if she has an itch, she needs it to be scratched. Okay.
Yes. I thought it was funny because Miss Maybelline said, "Who she thinks she's talking about some if right. She has a desire, girl. You mean when? Okay." Miss E said that she's changed from 39.
Can I just say how much I was really happy to see Judge Maybelline? I miss seeing her on my TV screen.
Me too. And I like seeing Miss E let her hair down a little bit because when she around her daughter, it'd be totally different. So to hear her talk about getting that itch scratched,
right?
I was like, because in front of her daughter, she would have been, that is inappropriate. So Miss E said that she changed from 39 and holding to 49 and holding. Well, Marla says she is 30 and holding. Okay, and always will be. As spiritual beings, we don't age.
I love that. You better. You better.
No, that's right. Then she says she chooses to vibrate at 30. Why did she say that? Because all these ladies talk about, you vibrating. 30. Vibrate. They said, look.
No, her daughter said you used the wrong word, Mom. Don't they nasty.
She said you gotta use different words.
Look, I was like, immediately when she said it, I said, does it go? They have settings that go up to 30?
So they asked her if she cares about sex, and she said she'd been there, done that. Okay. And it's something you can do for yourself.
Hence that vibrator be on 30.
Look, I knew what I meant. I'm vibrating at 30.
Okay, can I just say WeTV? This is what I need on my TV. Okay. I loved it. That was it. That was good for me. This made the episode for me.
Yeah, me too. And a little bit of Carlos King.
Right. Then Tony goes to visit Denham, which we know is her son. Handsome fella. He's on the set of his photo shoot. Tony obviously wants to make it known that she's there and is really on, this kick about trying to be his manager. And I laugh when she tried to be like, I don't want to do too much. I just want to, go up and, and like watch him from afar. And then she's like watching, and then like the photographer is like not paying any attention to her. So she has to be like, hey, I'm Denham's mom. I'm Tony Braxton. I laugh like shit.
Then she got to get in front of the camera. You know what's crazy? When she started taking pictures, I said, look, all in the video.
If you don't want to do that, come to death row.
Right? That is what I thought about when she got up there.
Oh God.
Let the boy have his moment. God, take a selfie and post it, okay?
The one thing I did feel Tony on, she talks about the struggles of being a boy mom, and I get it. I'm a boy mom, and they get to this point, they don't want you to love. Luckily, my baby is not there yet. He loves when I love on him. He loves on me. He's very emotionally intelligent. I love it. But I know at some point he's gonna be like, "Ma, get off."
So she said it for her when he was 5.
Right, and that's why I'm like, "Oh my God." No,
that is too young. I would cry.
Right. No, my baby still love me. Denham tells her that she wants to create. Basically, he wants to create his own name, and not just be Tony Braxton's son. So Tony is proud, that he's, she's a little taken aback, but obviously a little proud that her son is developing and respects that he wants to be his own man. And I said, yeah, you got to let him do that, because what's the best advice I ever got? Don't raise no man that you won't date. And try to drop them off on somebody else's doorstep and say love them. Don't do that.
So, Miss E, she shows up for her blind date. Immediately, she knows who the hell it is because it's her kids picking them out, and they just stuck at it. They stuck at it. This man got a whole purple suit on,
looking like.
Before he saw me, I would have turned my ass right around.
Looking like Barney.
I would have turned around as soon as I saw the hat.
I thought he was Shelly Christine was nice. I liked him.
I wouldn't have known because I'd have turned my ass right around.
I liked him. Don't do that.
So they got into some little small talk, made some jokes. Then he asked the waitress if they had.
He was a chicken finger man for me. I don't like that. I don't like no man that ain't got no good palate.
Well, then order some chicken fingers. Don't ask if you have Black people food.
That part.
And then the waitress suggested a chicken sandwich.
Right. Well, first of all, I don't know who picked it, but they were at an Italian restaurant at that. So the fact that they even, it is what it is. And then I felt a way because, I love me some yuca. So I felt the way that they was turning their nose up at the yuca fries. I said,
they didn't even know what they was because what he said, yuca freakus. What? So yeah, then the rest of the date, this man is just talking about himself the entire time. And Miss Edom warned us, okay? She said men up in this age do not change. Okay, so he's gonna do this all the time. Now, let me say something. This is what was giving me very much Latrice energy. Okay. This lady, she laughed, she smiled, she enjoyed the date, enjoyed her food the entire time. And then told production she don't ever plan.
That's how you know it was me. That's how you know it was me.
And then told production she don't ever plan
her food. She took it to go. Nels can tell you, I sit there high kiki drink with you all day. Can you put that in the to-go box? And then I'm going home and eat by myself and enjoy my food.
Look, Miss E said, I'm out. She said, there's no need to exchange numbers.
Because this ain't going nowhere.
I said, oh my goodness.
I loved it. We move on to Kevin. He has his first grief counseling. We get a little bit snippet of that with Spirit. I'm happy. And it was very emotional. I'm happy they didn't do too much. He said that he's having a hard year. He says that he was blindsided by the divorce and doesn't know where it came from. But basically he wants his family back. Now, I understand it's narrative and it's editing, but I feel like I ain't liked Olivia since she lied and said that they was making fun of her when Tracy and the daddy was singing to each other at the wedding. And And they was laughing at her, and I ain't liked her since then. Just be honest. So we learned that they break for lunch, and they're not hearing from him, and they go to his room where they find him unresponsive on the ground. So they called Tawanda, who was already en route to her nephew, because apparently she was on the phone with Olivia. Now OG, when she gets there, OG lets her know that yeah, he's had a seizure. Apparently he hasn't been
No,
taking.
I think Olivia was on the phone with him.
Right. And then Olivia called Tawanda.
Yeah, she called Tawanda, yeah.
And so basically, yeah, they were on the phone. He blacked out. Tawanda said she's just grateful that production was there. He wasn't alone. Kevin admits he needs to be better about taking his medicine. They called Miss E to update her. He admits that he believes he was, stressed out. And Miss E lets him know that basically he has found a better way to manage. Okay, baby, like I know you stressed. We all got the bill, but like you gotta, because of course, she's fearful. So he has court the next day, as we know. So Tawanda calls Olivia to see if she's willing to, basically ask them to postpone the case, and they say Olivia agreed, only for Trina and Miss E to come by to see little Kevin the next day. And he lets them know that although Olivia agreed to reschedule it, she went in, got her divorce granted, and took his house and full custody of their son. So he's more hurt because she said she'd reschedule. Miss E lets him know that he'll get through it and make sure that he goes to see his lawyer. And she reminds him that his mom was resilient and he's her son and has that same resilience in him. I'm not gonna lie to you. It was, like I said, it was such a lighthearted and such a good episode that I was actually sad to see it end like this. And it was terrible, especially after everything he's been through. And I'm not saying that, again, I'm not going to sit here and act like I knew. I don't know what went on in their marriage, and I'm not going to pretend like I did. And maybe he's not as innocent, but at the same time, if the narrative is true and how he's telling it, I just feel like he's already dealing with a lot, and I just feel like she's pushing him over the edge, in my opinion. And I just don't think that's healthy, and I don't understand why you would want to do that to the
father of your child.
The father of your child, even if you no longer want him to be your husband. I don't understand that. And maybe it's not for me to understand.
No, that was disgusting.
Yeah.
That was disgusting.
So, yep, that's pretty much how the episode ended. Y'all weigh in, let us know what your thoughts were. And if you guys haven't already, please make sure that you go ahead and you hit that like button for us.
Make sure you comment.
Make sure you've subscribed.
And hit the notification bell.
And make sure you're following us on all the platforms, the TikTok, the Twitter, the Facebook, and the IG. Yeah, y'all, we might be a little late next week because, we got to go out and about and do our thing and, celebrate because, we got to celebrate the birthday girl next week. So
it's Virgo's birthday.
Yes, it's that Virgo's birthday. So make sure y'all join us Thursday night for the live. I have not got the time down yet, but we're going to figure it out. We won't have you up too late. But, yeah. We're going to schedule live to celebrate Chanel's birthday. If you haven't seen it posted on the community board, if you want to be charitable, send the birthday girl anything off her wish list. You can find her Amazon wish list there on the community board. I probably will repost it, and the link will be in the description box. But yeah, y'all. So we will catch you sometime next week for a recap of the Braxtons. Have a good night.
Good night.